Hello viewers, I hope you've been okay from the last time we talked, and I've been receiving calls and people who are asking me questions about the mark of the beast that is written in the book of Revelation chapter 13 from verse 11 downwards. And I thought today I will just share you my thoughts and my interpretation of the whole thing. Now, I would like you to know that the Bible operates with symbols. We have symbols for animals, which are actually referred to as beasts in the Bible. We have number symbols. We also have country symbols or city symbols. So we have geographical symbols that are also found in the Bible. Now, let's do the number symbols. In the Bible, when you check, when you look at the numbers, you'll discover that number 2 stands for unity. Number 3 also stands for unity, but specifically for the Trinity. And then we have number 4 that stands for hardship, or a situation where somebody goes through difficult times. Number 5 in the Bible stands for God's grace. And then man is allocated number 6. Number 6 is the number for a human being, is the number for man. And then 7 is the number of total perfection, or is God's number. So number 7 stands for God, number 6 stands for a human being. As you can see, the human being, the number is less than that of God. That shows that man is sinful because he falls short. He falls short of God's glory. God's glory is number 7, and the human being is number 6. And then number 8 stands for a new beginning. Number 12 is for discipleship. Number 12, discipleship, 12 disciples, 12 tribes of Israel, and things like that. So once you've understood that, it helps you to understand what happens in the book of Revelation chapter 13. Now, in this chapter, I want to also you to understand that the world is moving from analog to digital. And because the world is moving from analog to digital, it's important for you to know that the more digitalized the world becomes, the more we will be, the more we shall be controlled by some political powers. So these political powers in the Bible are actually majorly are represented by beasts. Yeah, they are represented by beasts or animals. When you read the book of Daniel, you find some animals are there. Now, the characteristic of the animal is also the characteristic of the political government. Yeah, for instance, in my country, if I was supposed to allocate a symbol for my country, I will probably choose a hyena, yeah, as a symbol, because of the greed that is in the country. That's a light note. Okay, so when we're doing that, every country is allocated a symbol. So in the Bible, we have beasts that have been allocated, certain shapes and characteristics. Okay, so I want you to know that we have world politics, regional politics, country politics, and all this will come into play as the world is moving towards the end. And the political powers or authorities here are represented by beasts, as I have already said. So let's talk about this 666. See, 666 is generally a number. It is a digitalized, it's a digital system. Remember, it's a digital system. It is a number. And because it's a number, it has certain connotations. The first connotation is that it is a number for a human political government, because the number 6 is for human. So it's a number for a human political government. The other 6, it could be a number that will be used to identify citizens. Yeah. It will be used to identify citizens, a number that will be used to identify citizens so that people can be able to locate you. They can track you where you will be, where you go shopping, where you go holidaying, things like that. So it will be used to also help in cashless transactions. These days, you don't need to carry cash everywhere you go. You just use a Visa card, or maybe like in our country we do M-Pesa. You really don't need to carry money all along. So it will be used for as a cashless transactions. And then having the number, the Bible talks of the number will be implanted on the forehead. That this is probably a DNA kind of arrangement where where electronic chips will be implanted so you can be able to be tracked. And the idea here is to make sure that you don't lose your card. Like if you're using a physical ID, an analog kind of an ID, then it's replaced by an electronic chip that you'll be moving around with it very easily, so that you don't lose your number and nobody can be able to steal it from you. So it may also be a chip that is implanted into your blood system, so that you can be tracked in a computer, or you can be tracked through a certain system there. So the idea is to track you. Governments would like to track their citizens for security purposes, and towards the end, people will be tracked. Okay, people will be tracked. So these electronic IDs there's some also electronic IDs that will come. Like in my country, the government is preparing for electronic IDs, and it is going to sweep across the world, and it's going to happen almost everywhere. Okay, so the more we get digitalized, the more we shall get controlled, and the governments are going to use this system to ensure that they know how to control their citizens. Okay, so this number is likely to be a number of a human government, standing for the first 6. It's likely to be the second 6 standing for the code for the bank, and also number 6, it will also stand for the human being that is that has the card. Okay, so like an ID. So it will be having a series. It will be having a series of numbers. So the first, these are codes. So the first code will stand for probably a country code, then the bank code, then the number of the person holding the card. So you see now, when we have when we are moving around, people like to know this card belongs to which person. Okay. So 666 is a human number. It's a number for a human being, like me and you, where we are human beings. So the only problem will come when now governments will start using this number to persecute people for religious reasons. That's where now talking of people that will worship the beast. Worshipping the beast simply means people will not be able to operate. You can't be able to shop. You can't go anywhere except you have that number. Okay, you have your electronic gadget. That's it. That's how I understand the whole thing. Okay.